In this challenge, I will attempt to get as many stars as possible without using launch stars. The rules are that I can only enter main galaxies, not side galaxies that only have 1 star, and will only select the first 3 star levels. There are about 6 star missions per level, but the other half are just copies of the first 3, or too easy for this challenge run. With that out of the way, let's launch right into it. We launch right into the very first official level of the game, Good Egg Galaxy, and our objective is to fight the newborn baby dino Piranha. However, that's easier said than done, as we find out our first major obstacle of the challenge, a shiny launch star that is required to travel to the next planet. That means that this is the end of this star, and moving on to the next. This one is pretty much identical to the first one, as it has us travel to the opposite side of the planet, but instead we talk to a blue Luma, who helps us float over to yet another launch star. Thanks for nothing, my guy. King Caliente is preparing his troops to prepare to fight us, but he's gonna be waiting a very long time, as upon entering the level, we already find ourselves forced to leave because of another launch star right above the orange pipe. We visit the busy bee honey kingdom, where bees are hard at work storing honey and such. This is also the level that introduces the bee mushroom, one of my favorite power-ups in Mario Galaxy. However, will this ability of flight be enough to get the star without using launch stars? The answer is no. There is one at the very end of the narrow path behind the waterfall. Oh well, this one is similar to the first, except we must ascend even higher to the upper left area this time, and climb a series of obstacle courses, and once we reach the top, we are awarded with another launch star. Great. The Queen recruits us to eliminate the giant beetles who have invaded the galaxy, but the problem is, we must use a launch star she has summoned to get to the planet, but couldn't for obvious reasons. Not even 5 seconds has passed, and we learn that we must use the bullet bills to get rid of the glass domes covering the launch star, so we just left them to their own devices and left. We launch right into the beautiful starry skies, where junk is sent and all sorts of arbitrary objects flying about. We navigate our way around the level using the blue pull stars, and things are going well until we have to find the 5 launch star pieces. This means that we have to move on to the next level, as we had to find all 5 pieces anyways. This is the first. Usually we have some sort of hope when navigating around the level before discovering we can't go on any further. This one just immediately shuts me down by shoving a giant launch star right in the beginning of the level. Talk about being straightforward. This one's basically the same as the first star, but there is yet another launch star stowed away underneath this glass sphere, which obviously means we have to use that to progress, and with that, we take our leave. Things aren't looking too good, as we find ourselves face to face with, you guessed it, another unwanted launch star, hanging way up there. So far, we have not gotten a single star, and this is our second level hub in the game. We are supposed to use the bombs to break open these giant glass cages, and one of them has a launch star inside. Well, so much for that. We were able to progress a lot more than the first 2 stars, but even then, we still couldn't get to the boss of the level, so away we go. We arrive on the tropical galaxy, floating in space, home of the penguins trying to pass their swimming test. Upon entering the water, we find ourselves forced to search for launch star pieces. You know what they say about launch star pieces? We exit at the stage and so on. What a strange phase. This one was perhaps the easiest star we ever had to get in this game. All we had to do is shatter the dreams of a student penguin who worked their tails off to pass his test, and we literally swooped in and stole it from them and passed the swimming test. That penguin probably spiraled into a state of depression after this, and it's all our fault. We used the Koopa shell to break open the underwater cave and discover a fenced-off area surrounded by boxes. And what do we see here? A launch star that summoned when ground pounding the steak, just what we needed. We arrive in the spookiest galaxy of them all, and all of the ghostly galaxies are awaiting our arrival. However, they're going to be waiting a very long time, because we had to launch ourselves to the main level itself, and this star is already doomed from the moment we spawned in. This is literally the same exact scenario as the third star. Same thing happened here. We have arrived in the fleet of airships flying about and must fire ourselves to the other ships in quick succession. In the middle section, where you need to hit the lever to move the platform, I admit I had a bit of trouble with this, and Luigi's slippery shoes really didn't help. I kept falling as a result. But after reaching Bowser Jr., all we had to do was throw the Koopa shells at his ship, and the rest is history. Had he blocked off the Koopa entrances, he would have won. We arrive on the Windy Galaxy, which by the way, is one of my favorites in the game. Using the giant seas is imperative to traverse across the level. Things are going well until we find yet another unwanted launch star, so early on in the level. The second star basically has us doing the same exact thing as the first star, except we are fighting bulls digging underground this time. We defeated all of them, which reveals a launch star needed to move, but that's not gonna work for us. Once again, the star has us going through the motions, and find ourselves getting rejected as per usual. We fly to the planet of hot and cold, where heat and ice mesh well together for some odd reason. Our first objective is to catch this penguin, who claims it's faster than us, and once we do catch him, our reward is a launch star. Is it too late to get refunds? We haven't even left this icy platform and realize that we need to collect a bunch of launch star pieces, which is already a waste of time. We arrive on the same icy ring, but it's covered in lava and lives with ice and harmony somehow, and we can't progress because of the one launch star stuck in the ice. Dusty Dune is a scary galaxy in real life due to the giant pits of quicksand inhabiting the entire level. We make our way to the pipe, which reveals itself to be the entrance of a giant pyramid. It was fun stomping on all the enemies and such, and was super satisfying. But what's not satisfying is the fact that a launch star is waiting for us befalling of the level. We couldn't blast through the sand because as soon as we defeated all the Pokies hiding in the sand, we cannot ride the launch star. We pressed a switch which gradually lowered all the structures under the sand. As cool as it was, we still couldn't progress because of our own obvious thing. This Bowser level is my favorite because of the abundance of gravity changing platform sections. It makes you plan ahead as one little misstep is fatal. It tests your patience and ability to multitask, which is nice. There were many poisonous flooring, which is also instant death. And finishing these auto-scrolling sections, we made it to the Bowser fight, which is pretty much the same exact fight as the previous one, which is easy, and we got to start off while using a launch star successfully. We arrive in the autumn version of the Honeybee Galaxy, where everything's flipped. We start by gathering all the blue star pieces to see if that will help us proceed, and sure enough, it led to yet another launch star, which is useless, so we declare the star impossible. Here we return to find the Cataquacks from Super Mario Sunshine migrate to this galaxy, and we must use them to gain a boost to the higher platforms while equipping the bee mushroom. Things were going well until we found an unwanted launch star, who came to ruin our day. Thanks a lot. The weather forecast shows that it will pour rain all day in this galaxy, and we must use the bee mushroom to navigate around these stormy clouds. It felt good buzzing our way up to the top of the fortress, where we find this blue mole operating a giant cannon for the 10th time. This procedure was basically the same as always. Avoid the cannon shots, jump onto the cockpit to ground pound, and shatter glass and you'll win. With that being said, this star is completely possible without using launch stars. We arrive at my favorite galaxy in the game, Toy Time Galaxy, but turns out it's time to clean up because we cannot progress, because the launch star is literally right there in the very beginning, which is a shame because I love this level. Same thing happened with the first star. Once again, same thing with the first 2 stars. Up next is the relaxing beach seaside in the sky where anyone can come here to take a breather. We encounter Guppy again, who dares us to follow his 8 rings. This one was very straightforward, as we need to follow the rings without messing up and got to start. This is basically the same exact thing as the first one, except we're racing against 4 other penguins, and we have access to red shells to help us move faster. This one was a little trickier because we cannot afford to mess things up, as the AI will rubber band quickly, but it's pretty easy. This one has us scour the entire galaxy far and wide for all 5 silver stars to form 1 gold star. They are hidden in random spots, and admittedly, this took me a bit to find, but they're all definitely possible to find without using launch stars. I believe this is the first Bowser/Junior Star level where we cannot complete because a launch star's hit is required to progress to the next area, and it's hidden underneath a glass dome, and of course that's not good for us. What a shame, but it can't be helped. This one's a bit unique because it has to launch to another cannon to grab a quick fire flower on a planet filled with crabs for some reason, and then come back to light the torches to pass the gate. We swim all the way to the bottom and use a shell in order to break the mines, only to reveal a launch star. Oh no. We're faced off against this blue mole for the 5th time now, and it's the same thing every single time. After defeating him, we go back to the cave area and climb through a series of obstacle courses with poles and such, and travel to the other planets using slingshot stars. We arrive on a circular glass-like planet with a giant watermelon that grows when combined with tennis balls for some strange reason and spawns a power star somehow. Whatever, but what matters is that we got the star without using a launch star miraculously. Guppy returns has passed the standard same old ring test, which we've passed flawlessly. I wonder how we got here in the first place. We arrive on Dreadnought with a ton of dangerous machinery and lasers and such right off the bat. We realize we cannot leave the planet as it requires us to use the launch star, sitting idly on top. We survive an onslaught of rolling chainsaw balls spawning out of the doghouses while pressing the switches, and once we got past that mess, We already see the launch star in the distance, and knew we were doomed from the start. It's time to face off against the Top End tribe, and we must use them to gain height, and once we got past everything, another launch star stops us in our tracks yet again. We return to Lava Paradise, in which we climb atop the sinking platforms and avoid fiery enemies and climb the towers, and once we get into the volcano, we must use the launch star again, and we nope out of there real quick. We didn't get very far as the launch star is literally right there, which is a big nope. Things were going well until we hit a couple of potholes, and you guessed it, we run into another launch star. And there you have it, we managed to get a total of 10 power stars out of all the first 3 main stars in each main level, excluding the side levels, which is considered a lot because of how common launch stars are, how they are literally needed to progress in each level. The fact that we got any at all is amazing. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more challenge, ranking, and analysis videos of different Nintendo games.